The Livestream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Good evening and welcome to a very Brady live stream, a special edition of the Good Stuff Live. I'm your host, Dave Sundstrom, and if you enjoy talking about music, movies, mostly TV from decades gone by, you've come to the right place. So tonight is all about the Brady Bunch. Here's what we got. We're going to talk about favorite Brady episodes. Then we're going to talk about the Brady spinoffs. We're going to watch some Brady clips, or better stated, some Brady promos, and a couple of videos that I've put together about Robert Reed and Ann B. Davis. And then we're going to do a fun quiz, a Brady spinoff quiz that I think everybody's going to enjoy. But before that, somewhere in the middle of this hour, I am going to give away a copy of Retro Fan Magazine, the latest issue, either the issue that just came out or the issue that will come out next. The good folks over at Tomorrow's Publishing continue to partner with this channel and are offering up issues of Retro Fan Magazine, and we'll have a drawing for that in a little bit. But first, I want to welcome folks that have been hanging out in the chat for the last little bit, and I want to make sure I say hi. I also need to take care of our executive producers. We've got two executive producers this evening, and I want to recognize both of them. Lance Chaffin, who dropped a super sticker prior to the start of the live stream, and Kevin Connor, who dropped a super chat prior to the live stream. Both of you are so appreciated. I continue to appreciate your support, and it's fun for me to sign into StreamYard and see that level of engagement and enthusiasm for these live streams. So thank you, Lance. Thank you, Kevin. You are my executive producers tonight. Boy, I don't know. I can't think of a way to thank you enough. The only way one could do it is through song.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, Lance, and thank you, Kevin. All right, let's see who's in the chat. Oh, first things first. I did see one of the channel members use their milestone message. Let me see. This is Sean Ennis, who's been a member of the channel for 9 months. He gets advance access to the videos, exclusive access to a monthly membership live stream, a couple other perks in there. I do my darndest to respond to channel members' comments first, just kind of prioritize them since they're supporting members. And Sean says, woohoo, milestone. Hey, all. Thank you for being here tonight, Sean. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get into the chat and let's see who's here. We've got Wajameen, who, was talking to Lance Chaffin, who was here very early. Karen Lester's here. Gary Carpenter's here. Channel member Superplex. Deborah Battle, good to have you with us. Channel member Dave Kerbeau. Always a treat. Tom promises that tonight he's going to be 10 for 10 in trivia. Now, it's not trivia. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is identify the Brady spinoff program. So I'm going to give you a plot summary. Can't say hypnosis. Is it hypnosis? Hypnosis? Anyway, plot summary. And I'm going to ask you to tell me which Brady show or Brady spinoff did it come from. Let's see who else is here. Marianne Lockwood. Team Peter. I'm a big fan of Christopher Knight. A big fan for sure. Constance Cherry is here. Chris Kidd, Mr. Led, Chris Canale, Susan Boatman. Let's see. Channel member Dominic D. And folks, if any of you are interested in becoming channel members, there is a link in the description section of this live stream. I certainly do appreciate the support. Let's see who else is here. Stephen Commander says, I'm friends with John Morrow. Back Issue Magazine is my favorite. John Morrow is my partner, my contact over at Tomorrow's Publishing, and I've come to really discover that he's a heck of a nice guy. See, I think I said hi to Mr. Led, but I'll say hello again. Moonstorm, welcome. Joe Lewis, good to have you here. If I miss anybody, again, please forgive me. Tracy Rothmeyers, channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says, oh no, Lawrence Welk. You knew I was going to start sneaking that back in, right? Adrian James, good to have you here. A child is here. Looks like we've got another milestone message from channel member Mama Pinks. Look at this. Look at this. A member of the channel, a supporting member for 20 months. It is so good to have you. I know you've been catching my live streams on replay, Mama Pinks, but it's so great to have you here live with us tonight. And Gary Carpenter's telling me that he got his Remind magazine today. That's phenomenal. Makes me so happy that John got those out to you guys rather quickly, if only because I was a bit of a slacker in terms of giving him the details on that last drawing. So good news. Thanks for updating me, Gary. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. Scrolling, there's channel member Emily Miller. Awesome to have you with us tonight, Emily. Kenny Neighbors is here. There's nothing better than to spend the day before my birthday. Spend it with you, Dave. This is cool. Spend it with you, Dave. I am tickled that you've chose to spend your day before with me. Paul Rotter, good to have you here. Kenneth Wilkinson, Danny Staten, all the way from South Carolina. Always a treat to have Danny with us. Ed Reed, welcome. Good to have you here. Oh my goodness. Sean Innes has dropped, channel member Sean Innes has dropped a $5 super sticker into the feed. That is, Sean, not only are you a channel member, but to do that, heck of a nice thing. Thank you so much. I can't remember. I don't believe you are a Lawrence Welk fan. Let's go with a little Jimmy Walker.
Pure dynamite!
That super sticker is dynamite. Thank you for your support. Truly appreciate it. Let's keep going. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. Al Duarte's in the house. Always a treat to have you with us, Al. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're ready to talk Brady. Paul Rotter, God bless you. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. I've got to find an appropriate way to say thank you. Ed Grimley comes to mind. For your support, Paul. Truly appreciate it. All right, I'm almost done with this list. Gloop Trekker, where'd you go? Oh, there he goes. Gloop Trekker says, I can identify any radio episode with my eyes closed and listening to the first 15 seconds of dialogue. I'm excited to see how you do with tonight's quiz. Should be interesting. All right, let's see what else we've got. John S. is here, all the way from California. Good to have you with us, John. That's right. Tom McCluskey, a.k.a. the Hungry Jerk, met Christopher Knight with me when we were at CroftCon last year. We, both Tom, myself, my brother Steve, and Pat McCormick, had a chance to visit with Chris for a few minutes. And I told him how much I really enjoyed the podcast that he does with his television brother, Barry Williams, the Brady Bros podcast. If you are a podcast fan, and a fan of nostalgic television, and you're not subscribed to the Brady Bros podcast, do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. All right. I think I'm pretty much done with this list. We're near the top. Uncle Sean, good to have you here with us. Always great to have our uncle in the house. And Tug. Where did you go? There you are. Tug, the unapologetic geek, my guest last week on the live stream, and a new channel member. Thank you for doing that, Tug. I appreciate your support. Good to have you with us. And that is the list. We're through it. It only took 10 minutes. You know what? I got to say hi. I got to say hi. And now we're going to start talking. We're going to start talking about the Bradys. Karen Lee Maloney's here too. Welcome, Karen Lee. So good to have you with us. Let's talk about the Brady Bunch, the original television show. I got to tell you, it was not originally one of my favorite television shows because it ran opposite in the daytime after school, Star Trek. And so my sister and I, we'd have this battle. What are we going to watch? And on one channel, it was Gilligan's Island and the Brady Bunch, which I loved Gilligan's, but wasn't all that into Brady Bunch or Star Trek. Always wanted Star Trek, right? Always wanted Star Trek. And ultimately, wise parents made us take turns. And I grew to love the Brady Bunch. And there's so many episodes. In particular, I love the multi-part episodes. The one at the Grand Canyon, the one at the amusement park in Cincinnati, the one, especially the one in Hawaii, for all sorts of great reasons. So much fun. I want you folks to tell me what your favorite Brady episode is. And while you're putting those into the comments section, into the chat, I should say, I am going to look at this super chat coming in from channel member Dominic D. Says, I think the Brady's dramedy in the early 90s was the worst Brady Bunch spinoff. You know, I think it's interesting. The thing that made it, I hate to call it the worst. I really do. But I you got the Brady Bunch Hour, which was the variety show format. You've got this show, which was a dramedy, a 90-something kind of dramedy. And I don't know if either of those formats worked for the Brady Bunch. But they were interesting experiments. I'll say that. And I will say thank you very much for that super chat, Dominic D., or a gentleman and a scholar, or Spider-Man. I always play Electric Company Spider-Man. I know I have another Spider-Man one that I like an awful lot. Here it is. Thanks for all your support, Dominic D. Truly appreciated. All right, let's see. Let's see what folks are saying around favorite Brady show. There's been so much here. Let's see. Constant Cherry says, I remember Marcia breaking her nose. My friend did that to me with a baseball, it looks like. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Constance. It's no fun to get hit in the face with a ball. I think many of us have experienced that. And while we may not have experienced the big swollen nose that Marcia did, those never feel good. Yikes. Let's see. What else do we got here? Favorite Brady episodes. Favorite Brady episodes. Oh, well, this isn't a favorite Brady episode, but I'm going to put it up. Ed Reed says, Eve Plum gave me a shout out on Facebook. Eve's quite a prolific social media maven, we'll call her. She sells all sorts of knickknacks with her artwork on it. And she's pretty cool. Pretty cool gal. She's also very good at Wordle. I think she's quit playing it, though, but she used to be. She used to share her Wordle every day, and that was a lot of fun to see if I could beat Eve. Simply Steve 68 says, oh, my nose. The episode with the football. Let's see what else. Tom McCluskey says the amusement park episode. Wasn't that multi-part? I think it was a two-parter, wasn't it? Tug says that I already mentioned it, the Grand Canyon episodes. Those were good. One of the things that was fun about those episodes was that there were, so many episodes of the Brady Bunch was just filmed on the Paramount set. The certain sets, and a lot of that was, you could tell that there really wasn't a lot of location shooting going on with most of the episodes. But when they'd have these multi-part, typically season opener kind of episodes, they do location filming, and it was a lot of fun to see the Bradys go different places. Let's see. The Silver Platters. Oh, what a great episode. The one where they are trying to earn enough money for that silver platter for their mom and dad's anniversary. Let's see what else we got. Channel member Angela McArdle says she liked the Halloween episode. Gloop Trekker says the Cincinnati Kids was my favorite. Does anyone know what the clicking sound is in the audio of that episode? I haven't noticed that. I'm going to have to go back and watch that one. Constance says that their brother would always watch the Dukes of Hazzard and Chips and Knight Rider. Yeah. Well, those are some pretty darn good shows. Your brother has good taste. Matt Sweeney says the Ghost Town episode with Jim Backus. Paul Rotter says the volcano episode. Are you talking about, is that the Hawaii one? I'm trying to remember a volcano episode. I need to go back and watch some more Brady's. Some of these are not drawing, I'm not remembering them as well as I should. Let's just say that. Music Girl 67 pops in the house, channel member Music Girl 67, saying, hoping everyone is enjoying these last few days of August 2023. Deborah Battle liked the dramedies of the Brady's, which I think debuted in 1990. Ed Reed loved any Brady episode that had musical numbers. Let's see. What else do we got? Mama Pink says, yada hey, yada ho, hand pink waving. Albert Morales is with us. Good evening to you, sir. Good evening to you. Oh, yes, absolutely the best. I love Nicholas Hammond, the Spider-Man TV series, although I am partial to Electric Company Spider-Man. But they're also good. David Kerbo says, I like a series of episodes where they go to the Grand Canyon. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, here's a great episode that Danny Staten remembers. This is where Bobby is idolizing Jesse James. Yeah, the one that stuck in my head was the dream where Jesse James guns the family down on a train. Yeah, I remember that one. And a relative of one of Jesse's victims comes and visits Bobby. Let's see. Mama Pinks is sharing some more lyrics. Awesome. Kenneth Wilkinson says, I like the Brady Bunch episode with this about the school talent show. Another good one. Let's see. Tom is counting them. He's got 5 so far of the Bradys that he has met. Alo Duarte says, yeah, the Hawaiian episode is my favorite. I really enjoyed the ones where Bobby would have cool dreams. Yeah. Two Beer says the episode when Bobby saved Greg from the freezer at Sam's butcher shop. Mr. Led says Brady's in Hawaii, Dave, for the same reason as you. Yeah, there's a lot of good reasons. I'm sure you're thinking about, Vincent Price, right? You know, the reason Vincent Price was in that episode was that Sherwood Schwartz had promised to cast him as a guest on Gilligan's Island, and it didn't happen. And Vincent reminded Sherwood of his promise, and that led to the episode, or the multi-part episode with the Brady's in Hawaii and Vincent Price's wonderful, wonderful appearance. Oh, here's another one. The episode where Peter Brady meets his lookalike. What a great episode. And the fun thing about that one is it's prior to, all the special effects that they can do now. They actually did splicing where it's 2 sets of film that they've got spliced together to have Peter playing against Peter. It's a really fun episode. Christopher Knight does a great job. The Davy Jones episode, says Marianne Lockwood. Yes, another good one. Girl, look what you've done to me. Oh, yeah, great song. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. That's a fun episode, too. Let's see. Cousin Oliver does get a bad rap. I almost prepped a video that I have on Robbie Risk to play here during the live stream, but I decided against that one for one on Robert Reed and one on Ann B. Davis. Hey, my buddy BK on the air is here tonight, and BK will be live with me next Monday as we have Retropalooza number 6, and we're going to be talking about television crushes, and we're going to want to hear your TV crushes as well. Jason Goldtrap remembers, channel member Jason Goldtrap says, 1969 was a turbulent year in America. The Brady Bunch strove to make the show light, clean, and family-oriented. I think that was a goal of Sherwood Schwartz. He definitely wanted to keep it as escapist fare, right? A place where you could escape from the realities of what was going on in the real world. Deborah Battle points out the episode. Christopher Knight again. What a fun comedic actor Christopher Knight is. Pork chops and applesauce. Channel member Sean Innes says, Eve Plum really surprised and impressed me in the episode she did of Crashing. I did a hard double take. I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. But Eve is a fantastic actress. It's really one of the reasons why she didn't show up in the Brady Bunch variety show, the Brady Bunch Hour, was that she had some great roles that she was pursuing in terms of being a dramatic actress. Lance, God bless you. A Diet Coke. I've got my Diet Coke right here from McDonald's. But that's going to be perfect for me tomorrow. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Let's see. I won't do well to you. I think maybe, you know what? In honor of Paul Rubens, who we lost a month or so ago, let's do this. Yeah, thanks for your support, Lance. I really appreciate it. All right. Mama Pink says, oh, the UFO episode. Yes, that was a fun one. Tom McCluskey points out when the Jesse James episode wasn't his favorite. He didn't like that. And there was some elements of that episode that he felt were kind of out of character for a Brady Bunch show. Oh, Paul Rotter points out the episode with Greg and Johnny Bravo. That's a good one. Yes, Kings Park. That's the name of the amusement park in Cincinnati. And it was a one-parter. Okay. I just, in the back of my head, maybe it's because it was a location. One of those typically were multi-parters. I remember that one being a two-parter. Okay. Constant points that out as well. Thanks, folks. Appreciate that. Hey, let's keep going. Deborah Battle points out when Cindy got over her fear of magic to help Peter. That was a good one. Oh, Eve Plum on Family Affair. Such a sad episode as she plays a little girl who is dying when they have Christmas early. Gary Carpenter likes the one where they went to Hawaii. Vinny Vin says Johnny Bravo episode was great. Albert Morales says very fond of the housekeeper, Alice. I had a nanny who looked a lot like her. You know what, Albert? Perfect transition. Let's talk a little bit about Ann B. Davis, and I will be right back. Whenever I see a picture of Ann B. Davis in character as Alice on the classic TV show The Brady Bunch, I am immediately taken back to watching the show in reruns during the 70s. While Alice was without doubt the funniest character on the show, she always seemed to me like she was one of the kindest as well. So why am I talking about Ann B. Davis today? That's because I just finished listening to the latest episode of the Real Brady Brothers podcast, which is hosted by Barry Williams and Christopher Knight. In this particular podcast, they talk about a Season 3 episode of the Brady Bunch titled Sergeant Emma, where Ann gets to play the role of Alice's identical cousin Emma, who takes care of the Brady household while she goes on vacation. Sergeant Emma is a really fun episode that allows Ann to shine, but that was never hard for her to do in the first place. As both Christopher and Barry point out in the podcast, Ann was already an award-winning actress who was well known to television audiences due to her co-starring role as Schultze on The Bob Cummings Show. During the course of this episode of the podcast, both of the Real Brady brothers take time to share their memories of Ann while they worked with her on the Brady Bunch. Barry recalled that he got along well with Ann, perhaps because he was a bit older than the rest of the kids in the cast, and he was able to relate to her differently because of that. He also mentioned that he remembered watching Ann on the Bob Cummings Show as a child, and as such, he knew that Ann was coming to the Brady Bunch as perhaps the most respected member of the cast. He also said that while on set, Ann was very much a professional and tended to minimize her interactions with the kids. Christopher's experiences with Ann were more of the latter. He said that Ann could be demanding when it came to all cast members, including the kids. Knowing their lines and their marks was important to her. It wasn't that she was mean, cantankerous, or difficult to work with in any way. It's just that she had high expectations of her work colleagues. And the same high expectations, well, she held herself to them as well. So I think it's fair to say that Ann did like the kids in the cast. But that doesn't mean that they were all that familial with her. Both Christopher and Barry during the podcast acknowledged the same thing that was written last year in an article by Taylor Cunningham that said that while Ann was a very nice woman, she didn't have any children of her own, and as such she struggled to relate with them. And that, perhaps more than anything else, just goes to demonstrate how talented Ann was as an actress. On the Brady Bunch, she made her affinity for the children seem so real, so genuine. It was hard for me not to believe that when the cameras weren't rolling, she wasn't exactly the same way. One thing that I got from the podcast episode was that both Christopher and Barry were in total awe of this woman and the talent that she brought day in and day out to the screen. Sadly, Ann left us a few years back. She was 88 when she took a fall in her home and never regained consciousness. Upon hearing news of her passing, many of the Brady cast members took the time to acknowledge the tremendous influence that this woman had directly and indirectly on their lives. For someone who never truly felt comfortable around kids, this lady sure was loved. All right, folks, time. Okay. We're going to stop there. I think I just asked people to subscribe and leave comments, and we can skip that part because I want to get to a few more comments. And yeah, let's see. Tom points out the volcano episode's the one where Marcia's trying to be popular. That's the one where, is it Peter that's building or is it Bobby that's building the volcano? The miniature volcano, it goes all over those girls. That was a fun one. Channel member Emily Miller talks about the Davy Jones episode. Of course, who doesn't like Davy Jones? And Uncle Sean liked the episode where Peter met his look-alike. Paul Rotter said the volcano episode. Hey, BK points out that the Brady Bunch set was used on some television series, as well as the horror film Bug, which was written by William Castle. The TV series, I think you point out later, BK, was they used it a lot on Mannix. Karen Lee talks about the Marcia's Missing Diary episode. Nicholas Hammond, a.k.a. Television Spider-Man, and in The Sound of Music, was in the Something Suddenly Came Up episode. Well, it's the episode where Marcia gets hit in the face with the football. He doesn't want to date her after that happens. Okay, constant referring to the gotta keep on moving song. I won't. Why am I singing? The thing is here. Hi, Dave. It's been a while. Hope all is well with you. You know the thing. And Tracy Rothmeyers talks about the Joe Namath episode. Music Girl 67 talks about the one where they filmed that Pilgrim, that Pilgrim film, the Underground movie. Good one. And Justin Aylett, a.k.a. Braidwood Inn, talks about the episode with Violet Beauregard. And Susan Boatman likes the episode where they go camping for the first time. It's early on in season 1, if I remember right. The Aunt Jenny episode was good as well, says Music Girl 67. And John S. says, I wish Jan would have appeared in in the court case, the one where the guy claims to have been hurt in the car accident. Then we would know if her name was really Janet or Janice. Or maybe it's just Jan. The thing says that they love the episode where Peter's voice changed. And Tug, channel member Tug, says, what about the one where they tried to steal the goat? Braidwood Inn says, how many episodes involved the variety show? 9 or 10? Something like that? Maybe only 8. I can't remember. Not that many. The variety show and the Brady's are the fewest episodes. Gia Johnson says, love the Brady movies. An old farm show is here. Albert Morales asks if the Brady Bunch ever met the Partridge Family. They did not. And Thresh Pondo's here as well. Welcome, channel member Thresh Pondo Pons. All right. So we've talked about that. We're going to talk in a minute about Brady spinoffs. Let me make sure I've taken care of everything that I need to take care of here. Yes, I have. So we're going to watch a promo. A couple promos, I think. Let's watch I love this Lost Brady promo. And we'll also watch a promo for the Brady Bunch variety show. TV Land back in the 90s, they had the best promos. So we'll watch that first.
The Lost Brady.
You know about Phoebe? Wow, after all this time, I thought it would never get out.
Well, I guess now it can be told. After we filmed all 5 seasons of the Brady Bunch series and the show is going into syndications, the producers decided to edit out Phoebe. Oh, poor Phoebe. Well, the truth is she never really fit in.
3 of them with hair of gold and red-haired Phoebe, who often picked her nose.
Then there was the amateur contest episode when we were the silver platters. And Phoebe, naturally, refused to be part of the act.
The first prize is $100. $100? But before we can get on the show, we have to audition our act.
What act?
Well, we can sing a little and we can dance a little. And Bobby and Cindy can be cute and charming.
Cute and charming? Black, forget you losers. I'm doing my own act. And keeping 100.
You ding-a-ling. We got about as much chance of getting on that show and winning first prize and getting the money as we do of robbing a bank.
Hey, Greg, now you're talking.
Forget it.
Who's with you?
I think that after Phoebe Brady was edited out of the show, it made a lot more sense.
For more incredible footage of The Lost Brady, watch the Brady Bunch Marathon all week on Nick at Night.
To the hustle!
It's the all-new Brady Bunch with guest stars Lee Majors, Farrah Fawcett Majors, Captain Cool and the Combs, Ann B. Davis, and Rip Taylor. From the producers of Donnie and Marie, it's the Brady Bunch Hour. Sunday at 7 on ABC.
All right, we're back. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the spinoffs. I'd love for you guys to tell me, what was your favorite spinoff? Which one did you like the most? And if you want to tell me which one you like the least, feel free to do that as well. We're going to do that. We're going to watch a video about Robert Reed for a minute or two, and then we're going to get right into the Brady spinoff quiz. Actually, we're not. After we watch the Robert Reed video, we'll do the drawing for the Retro Fan magazine and then the quiz. So we've got a lot to do in the next 27 minutes. So let's get rolling. Let me get right into the chat and let's see what people are saying about their favorite spinoff or their least favorite spinoff. Let's see what we got going here. I've got to scroll down quite a bit. There's a lot of chat going on, and I got to tell you, I love it, love it, love it so much. And Tug, thanks for reminding folks to hit the like button. It will make me sad if you don't enjoy the live stream. So let me keep going here. We're almost caught up. Got to be to the part where we're talking about spinoffs. Let's see. So much to work through here. Folks are wanting Thrash Pondo to do an after party tonight. Well, how about it, Thrash? Oh, yeah, Dolph. I remember the Brady Kids cartoon. You're going to have to be able to identify a handful of Brady Kids cartoon episodes in the quiz just a little bit. Okay, looks like Thrash Pondo is going to be live streaming this Sunday. 420 says that he admits that he watched the Brady Brides, as do I. How can you not? It had Maureen McCormick and Eve Plum in it. That's 2 really good reasons to watch the Brady Brides. And Tom McCluskey says the music in the cartoon was pretty good. I enjoyed it as well. Blocky Bear says that Oliver was the lost Brady, not Phoebe. Well, he really wasn't. He made it into syndication. Phoebe got edited out. We do love you, Mama Pinks. Thanks for joining us tonight. Great to have you here. Let's see what else we've got. Gary Carpenter points out that in the cartoons, Wonder Woman showed up, as did Superman, as did the Lone Ranger. Let's see. Blotchy Bear says the Brady Bunch Hour. No. I enjoyed it. I've watched a bunch of the episodes here on YouTube. And that Brady Bunch Hour was a true lowlight in Lee Major's career, says the nostalgic Pod Blast. Paul Rotter says, laugh out loud, the Brady Bunch Hour. And I think that's what Mr. Led said was embarrassing. Karen Lee Maloney loved the Brady Brides. I enjoyed it as well. I am not going to be ashamed of that. I felt like of all the spinoffs, that show maintained the spirit of the original Brady Bunch show. Channel member David Kerbo says not a fan of any of the spinoffs. Channel member Zoo Perplex believes that someone may have been on LSD when they came up with that idea. Well, you know, the Brady Bunch Hour was not a Sherwood Schwartz production, but rather a Sid and Marty Krofft production, and they've been accused of that before. Brian Moran says, go Fake Jan, Jerry Reichel. What a sweetheart. What an absolute sweetheart. I love Fake Jan. Let's see. Paul Rotter says that Fake Jan could sing, and boy, could she ever. But she wasn't Eve. That's true. Let's see. Deborah Battle says the most was the Brady Brides. That's the one that they like the most. And let's see. Oh, Constant talks about A Very Brady Christmas. Now, we're not going to, that's really kind of like the precursor to the Bradys. I think it aired in 89. Booker 14 says, did they ever explain why Mike gave up on being an architect to be in the variety show, only to go back when it failed? No, they did not. The backstories were kind of weak there on the whole movement to the new house and to being on a variety show. You know. Let's see. Channel member Dominic D points out that Donnie Marie had Paul Lynde on their variety show and the Brady Bunch had Rip Taylor. So very true. Channel member Emily Miller doesn't know the names of any of the spinoffs. Well, you will tonight. If you stick around, you will tonight. Channel member Lisa Field says she liked the Brady Brides. Yeah. To me, that is it's the best of the spinoffs. But I will be truthful. Every single spinoff I enjoy for different reasons. Channel member Jason Goldtrap says the Brady Bunch Variety Hour proved that you can be two 70s in the 70s. Lamont Bradford says the Brady Girls Get Married, which is the television movie that led to the Brady Brides TV show. For my sweetheart 369 channel member there, thank you for your support. Says Guilty Secret, I like the Brady Hour. I'm not even going to feel guilty about it. I am not even going to feel guilty about it. Do not try to make me feel guilty about it. Channel member Music Girl 67 says, love the Brady Kids. It's available on DVD too. Yeah, there's a big Brady DVD set that has like all of this stuff in it, including the animated stuff. Caroline Maloney likes A Very Brady Christmas. And let's see. Blotchy Bear says the real Jan dodged a bullet when she turned down the job turned down the variety show. She probably believes that. I guess I'm kind of glad she did, because I'm glad we have Jerry in that one. She has a really marvelous voice. What a wonderful singer she is. Channel member Dominic D says, maybe the Brady Brides. Nostalgic Pod Blast points out that the Christmas TV movie was great, even with fake Cindy. So many fake Brady girls. I've done a video on that too. All right. We could do this all night long. But we've got stuff to do. So we're going to watch this Robert Reed video. I'm going to come back. We're going to give away a copy of Retro Fan Magazine. And then it's all about the spinoffs. Let's see how good you guys are tonight. So let me pull up. We're going to start with one more promo from TV Land, and then we'll go right into that Robert Reed video.
I want to be a Brady. I'm tossing in the living room and sack crates in the yard. I'd cruise around in the Brady wheel. Life will not be hard. I want to be a Brady. I want to mow the AstroTurf and seesaw all night long. I'd star on local talent shows by singing groovy songs. I want to be a Brady.
Be a Brady. Watch Brady Bunch Tuesdays all summer long during Block Party Summer on Nick at Night.
No doubt about it. If you are a kid that grew up during the 60s or 70s, then this guy, Mr. Robert Reed, well, he kind of seemed like he was America's dad, a kind and loving father who wasn't afraid to dole out a lesson or two when it was needed. And that happened at least once a week during the 5 seasons that the Brady Bunch were on the air as part of ABC's Friday night lineup. Of course, to me and my sister Valerie, we got to see Reed's character Mike Brady help his kids to choose right or wrong almost every day through the magic of reruns after school. And my sister was such a big fan that she had all sorts of Brady Bunch merch over the years. When she was younger, it was things like paper dolls and coloring books. But later on, she started reading the paperback novelizations. I myself was more of a casual fan. Even so, I did have a favorite episode. Yep, it's the one where the Bradys all go to Hawaii and Greg finds that little tiki god necklace. I like that one for a lot of reasons, including the fact that it featured an appearance by legendary actor Vincent Price. Some folks may have thought that Price was slumming at showing up on the Brady Bunch, but for me, it was the icing on the cake. But let's get back to Robert Reed, the man who played the patriarch of the Brady clan, a classically trained actor who found success on both stage and screen. Reed's big break on television came in the form of a legal drama co-starring E.G. Marshall called The Defenders. It was a show that he was proud of, and in it, Robert played Kenneth Preston. He was the son of Lawrence Preston, E.G. Marshall's character, and together they would defend all sorts of interesting characters who found themselves in a legal pickle due to their actions, which were often controversial, and allowed the show to explore many of the complex social issues of the day. By contrast, Robert's role on the Brady Bunch was much less satisfying for him because he felt like the show was a lightweight comedy that didn't allow him to stretch as an actor. This was truly a struggle for Reed. He took the role, at least initially, for a paycheck and because Sherwood Schwartz had kind of pitched it to him as something else. But once it was going, he didn't expect it to last beyond the first handful of episodes. However, although the Brady Bunch was never a massive ratings hit, it did manage to connect with its intended audience in such a special way that each of the actors would forever be identified with their characters on the show. Yep, it was truly both a blessing and a curse for Robert. Like I said, Reed wanted the Brady Bunch to be more than it was. Maybe not the Defenders, but still he wanted to be proud of his work on the show, and that desire would cause a ton of grief for producer Sherwood Schwartz, who was continually rewriting lines for Reed in an effort to placate his dissatisfied star. Things got so bad at the very end that Reed did not make an appearance in the show's final episode because he felt like the premise of that particular episode was just simply too ludicrous. Sherwood Schwartz shares the story right here on YouTube. It's an interesting one because even though Reed did not want to appear in the episode, he still wanted to be on the set with his castmates, which, at least from Schwartz's perspective, was a bit distracting for everyone else. The counterpoint to Sherwood Schwartz's perspective is Greg Brady himself, Mr. Barry Williams, who in his book Growing Up Brady points out that Reed was the conscience of the show, a very caring actor who wasn't afraid to take his concerns right up to the network when Schwartz chose to discount them. After the Brady Bunch ended, Reed found much more rewarding work, and by the mid-70s, he had been nominated for 2 Emmys, one for a guest appearance on the TV series Medical Center, and another for his role in the miniseries Rich Man, Poor Man. Another 70s appearance worth mentioning is an episode of Wonder Woman where Reed appeared as a very dapper villain during that show's first season on ABC. Airing on Christmas Day 1976, Reed's performance as a World War II-era German spy codenamed the Falcon is a prime example of his ability to elevate any show that he was in. It's not only a fine performance, but a fun one as well, even if the Falcon is spreading the bubonic plague as he goes around stealing secret government experiments. And when you add those roles to the one that he had in the miniseries Roots, well, it's easy to see why this was a fulfilling time in Robert Reed's career. He was getting the roles that showcased his talents, and he was indeed making the most of those opportunities. I guess at some point in this video I should mention that Reed was in the closet about his sexual orientation. Because it wasn't something that he publicly liked to discuss, that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it. However, if you're watching this video, you probably already knew that. But I mention it because I do believe that it had a hand, at least in part, with some of the stress that he was feeling while playing Mike Brady on the Brady Bunch. While he was seen as difficult by Schwartz and the rest of his creative team, by all accounts he was universally beloved by his co-stars, especially Florence Henderson, who knew his secret and kept it for him. And it was because of the love that he felt for his Brady co-stars that Reed would continue to appear in all sorts of Brady Bunch follow-ups, like the Brady Bunch Variety Hour, which allowed him to finally sing and dance with his castmates, and he was very good at it, by the way. He would also appear in the short-lived dramedy The Bradys, where Robert hoped that he would finally be given scripts that wouldn't be as silly as the ones that he went to battle about years earlier. Of course, the Bradys suffered from the absence of Maureen McCormick, and even the casting of my favorite MTV VJ, Martha Quinn, as Bobby Brady's fiancée and then wife, couldn't save this show, which critics called Brady something because many of them were critical of what they felt was an awkward mix of comedy and drama, similar to ABC's hit television show at the time, 30-something. Who knows, maybe Sherwood Schwartz knew what he was doing after all. So anyway, my last recollection of Robert Reed on television was on an episode of Sally Jessy Raphael's daytime talk show where he talked about his efforts to improve those early Brady Bunch scripts, as well as the love that he had for his co-stars. You know, if you ask me, Robert Reed was a class act all the way, and in this episode of Sally, well, it's a perfect example because in it, Reed couldn't help but act like a dad toward Barry Williams when he confessed on air about some of the hijinks that went on between the kids during a time when Robert paid for the entire cast to go on a fun trip to New York. In the early 90s, as acting opportunities became less frequent, Reed found a new passion as a drama teacher. He began teaching Shakespeare to students at the University of California in Los Angeles. Reed loved interacting with students who had the same sort of zeal and passion for the craft that he had felt during his entire career. He connected with those students and hoped that by teaching, he might be able to pay it forward just a bit. Yes, despite certain challenges, Robert Reed really felt like he'd been blessed. So it is just a little ironic that in 1992, Robert would pass away from colon cancer. Even though the cover of People magazine here would have you believe that it was due to AIDS, it really wasn't. Now to be clear, Robert was HIV positive and that suppressed immunity couldn't have helped things at all. Reed was just 59 at the time of his passing and he was the first of the Brady family to go. Since that time, Florence Henderson and Ann B. Davis have left us as well, so it's just the kids now, and I'm not sure I should even be calling them kids anymore because many of them are older than Reed was when he passed away. One final thing. All right, we're going to stop there. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I am just a big fan of Robert Reed. I think he's a class act, a closeted gay man who loved his co-stars. He loved those kids to death. He took them on vacations. He wanted to be with them. He and Florence had a tremendous relationship, and I just find it all so very inspiring. The way they became a family. Okay, so I promised to give away a copy of Retro Fan magazine. Folks, I've got a lot of stuff in the description field. You can talk about, or there's a link to become channel members. There's a link to try Friendly TV for 7 days. But perhaps one of the most important links in there is a link to subscribe to Retro Fan magazine. I am huge proponent of this magazine. If you love all the stuff that I talk about on my channel, you will love this magazine. And as was pointed out earlier, there are no finer people than the Morrows, the publishers of this magazine. In particular, I have really grown to appreciate John Morrow and his passion for all things nostalgia, all things geeky, the stuff that I love. And Retro Fan magazine is a celebration of all that. We're giving away a copy right now. I'm going to give folks about 30 seconds. Let's do this. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Hashtag Brady. That's what I need in the chat right now. Hashtag Brady. Let me put a 30-second timer on the screen. That's all I'm giving you folks tonight. We are on the clock. We've got a quiz to still do and lots to get through in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So here's the timer, 30 seconds. Hashtag Brady in the chat right now. And this, by the way, folks, are only for it. If you're watching this on the replay, I apologize. This won't be something that's available to you. You have to be watching participating and engaged in the live stream to be eligible for this drawing, simply because it's live. It's happening right now. And if you put hashtag Brady in the comments after the fact, that's really not what we're trying to do here. We've got a bunch of entries. Let me go ahead and take the timer off the clock. Let's see how many we have. I'm going to go full screen here for a second so I can see. We've got 40 entries. That's nice. Love it. Love it. Let me go ahead and head on over and click the draw button. I'm going to count down from 5 seconds just to give anybody that's still struggling to get hashtag Brady into the chat. 5, 4, 3, something suddenly come up, 2, 1. Let's see who our winner is tonight. Wajamin. Fantastic. Wajamin is a frequent attendee of my live streams and love his level or their level of engagement. Thank you so much for being part of my YouTube community. I am tickled to have you as the winner tonight, Wajamin. So let me put this on the screen really quick if I can. Here's what I need you to do. Shoot me your address, your full name, your address to that email address. And if for any reason you don't have a pen handy, you can, of course, go back and catch the email address on replay. You can pause the video now if you want to and just catch the quiz kind of on a time delay basis. But that's the email address that you need to send your information to so that I can forward it on to John Morrow and team over at Tomorrow Publications. And they will get you out a copy of Retro Fan Magazine, perhaps the greatest of all nostalgic geeky magazines out there. It's like a $10.95 value. It's a good deal. The thing I love about, besides the great articles, is the quality of the paper. It's just the craftsmanship of the magazine, if you will. It's good stuff. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let me check quickly, make sure everything's okay in Chatlandia. Looks like I've got everything taken care of there. I am not paying a ton of attention to chats right now. Now, I will make sure that I address any super chats or super stickers that pop up. I definitely feel like you gotta mention those. But otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and talk in the chat while we do the quiz. And I think maybe after the 5th one and then at the end, we will get final scores. I think, is there 10 or 8? There might only be 8 here. So we'll do it at 4, and at the end, we'll get our scores. All right, so let me do this. Let's share another screen. This is called Which Brady Spinoff Is It? So your choices are going to be the Brady Bunch Variety Hour, the Brady Kids, the Brady Brides, or the Bradys. And I'm going to give you a little summary, just a 1 or 2 sentence summary of what the episode was about. And then I'm going to give you 30 seconds to guess. You can do it in the chat. You can do it in your head. You can write it on a piece of paper, however you want to do it, to guess the answer. And then I'll tell you the answer. So let's get rolling. Let's get rolling right now. Number 1. Here we go. Marcia is forced to use Wally and Philip in her fashion show after her models go on strike. Let me put the timer on. Again, Marcia is forced to use Wally and Philip in her fashion show after her models go on strike. McDonald's really does have a very, very nice Diet Coke mix. Really good. Excellent, excellent. All right, just a few seconds left. Let me go ahead and take the timer off the screen. The correct answer is the Brady Brides. Yep, for all you fans of the Brady Brides, you probably knew that. You probably knew that. Okay, question number 2, or summary number 2, I should say. When Greg decides to move out on his own, Vincent Price warns him that his new apartment is haunted. The clock is ticking. I will read the plot summary one more time. When Greg decides to move out on his own, Vincent Price warns him that his new apartment is haunted. Oh, I love Vincent Price, one of my favorite all-time actors. Of course, he played Egghead on the classic TV series Batman. But before that, what an illustrious film career. And the correct answer is the Brady Bunch Variety Hour, or the Brady Bunch Hour, depending on who you ask and which promo you see on ABC. Okay, did you get that one? Number 3. The boys and the girls form rival camping groups, both of which get lost. They must work together to get back to camp. The boys and the girls form rival camping groups, both of which get lost. They must work together to get back to camp. I forgot to start the timer. We'll probably only give you 20 seconds on this one. Now remember, this isn't the original, and your choices do not include the original television show. It's either the Brady Bunch Variety Hour, the Brady Kids, the Brady Brides, or the Bradys. All right, I'm going to stop the timer right here. You've had plenty of time. The correct answer is the Brady Kids. Yes. Was that 4? Let's see. No, this is number 4. We'll do this one, then we'll get scores. Greg, Marcia, and Chuck are up for class president. Chuck sabotages his opponent's campaigns, so the Brady pets teach him a very valuable lesson. Again, Greg, Marcia, and Chuck are up for class president. Chuck sabotages his opponent's campaigns, so the Brady pets teach him a very valuable lesson. Tiger. Anybody know what happened to Tiger in the original Brady Bunch TV series? The dog who actually played Tiger was killed in a car. It was run over, hit by a car. Then they used some other dog for, I think, part of an episode, and it was such a disaster that Tiger just disappeared. The doghouse remained, though. And the correct answer is the Brady Kids. That's 2 in a row for the animated series, produced by Filmation, if I remember. Was it Filmation or Hanna-Barbera? It might have been Hanna-Barbera. It was Hanna-Barbera. All right. Let's keep rolling. We're going to get scores, though. Yeah, let's get scores first. Folks, tell me how you're doing. Folks, tell me how you're doing. I'll just quickly put the... Oh, Lamont says it was Filmation. Okay. It felt like Filmation animation, but then I'd heard that the whole Superman Wonder Woman's episode had been kind of a backdoor pilot for the Super Friends, which was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, which is where I got confused. All right, we got scores here. Let's look at the scores. Wajamin, our winner of tonight's magazine, 2 of 4. Todd McCreary, good to have you here, Todd, 3 of 4. Marianne Lockwood, 3 of 4. Channel member Thresh Pondo Ponds, perfect score. Channel member Tug, 3 of 4. Channel member Emily Miller, 2 of 4. Channel member Superplex, 3 of 4. Thank you, all you fine folks, for being channel members. Truly appreciate it. Gary Carpenter, 3 of 4. Terrell Eugene Bellinger, 4 of 4. Lamont Bradford, 4 of 4. Channel member Lisa Fields rocking it tonight with a 4 of 4 score. Cindy D has 4 of 4 as well. Karen Lee knows her Brady's, 4 of 4. John S is 3 of 4. Dolph Quick, 3 of 4. Karen Lester, 1 of 4. Channel member Music Girl 67, 3 of 4. Doing okay so far, I'd say you are. Kenneth Wilkinson, 2 of 4. Channel member Sean Ennis, 2 of 4. Yeah, he can be embarrassed either way. Marianne Lockwood, 3 of 4. Tom McCluskey, you promised me 10 of 10. Well, there's only going to be 8 tonight, but I'm expecting a 7 of 8. Yeah, I'm joking. Have fun. I expect you to have fun on the quiz. Paul Rotter, 4 of 4. Let's see. Alo Duarte's got 2 so far. Cindy D loves Super Friends as much as I do. 420, 420, 2 of 4. Booger 414, 3 for 4. Channel member Dominic D, 3 of 4. Tiffany B, 1 of 4. Booger 414, 3 of 4. Yes, we got you. We got you. Glenda Stevenson is 3 of 4. Mr. Let's 0 4. But you're going to make it up on the back half. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going, folks. Here we go, number 5. Mike declares his candidacy for city council with the help of Peter and Wally as his campaign managers. All right, we're starting the clock. Mike declares his candidacy for city council with the help of Peter and Wally as his campaign managers. Was it the Brady Bunch Variety Hour, the Brady Kids, the Brady Brides, or the Bradys? You tell me in the chat. Or you don't have to tell me. You can just kind of lock it in your noggin. That's usually what I do when I play trivia on these kind of these live streams. All right, correct answer is, you knew it, the Bradys. Yep. The fun thing about the Bradys, it had its cons, but one of the pros is that Wally and Philip from the Brady Brides did make the transition over. Number 6. Marcia and Jan get some self-defense lessons from their mother while a thief attempts to rob their home. Clock is started. Again, the plot summary is Marcia and Jan get some self-defense lessons from their mother while a thief attempts to rob their home. That one, you kind of can do process of elimination a little bit on these, because on one of these spinoffs, the parents never showed up, and I'm not going to say which one. You got to figure that out. Let's see. Let's stop the clock, and the correct answer is the Brady Brides. Moving on to number 7. 2 more to go, and then we'll get final scores, folks. When his family criticizes his singing and dancing talents, Mike decides to prove to everyone he can carry a tune. Again, the summary goes as follows. When his family criticizes his singing and dancing talents, Mike decides to prove to everyone that he can carry a tune. Robert Reed, I talked a little bit about it in the portion of the video that we watched. He did not, towards the tail end of the Brady Bunch, he wasn't a happy camper in terms of the script quality and that type of thing. So folks say, well, how and why did he come back to the other spinoffs? And a lot of it has to do with the cast. But in the case of the Variety Hour, he loves singing and dancing. And of course, this is an episode of the Variety Hour. He believe, if I remember correctly, he enlists the help of Charo, who I think holds the record for the most appearances on the Love Boat, to be followed by one Ms. Florence Henderson, who I think is in second place. Final question, last one. Here we go. The Department of Transportation plans to tear the Brady house down to make room for a new freeway. Putting the timer on the clock, or starting the timer, the Department of Transportation plans to tear down, how could they? The Brady house to make room for a new freeway. Which one was it? Does that sound like a Variety Hour summary? The Brady Kids, the Brady Brides, or is it the Bradys? Time is ticking. Take the clock off the screen. The correct answer is the Bradys. All right. Now's your time to tell me how you did. And of course, later on, if you're watching this on the replay, tell me how you did in the comments section. And I'd love to see what your thoughts were, what questions threw you for a loop. Yeah, please let me know how you did. Let's look at some scores. Let me get over there to the chat. I think a lot of you did pretty darn well tonight. Channel member Superplex, 6 of 8. Ken Wilkinson, 6 of 8. Hey, Sakina McMurrin's in the house. Good to have you with us, Sakina. Marianne Lockwood's 5 of 8. Wajameen, 6 of 8. John S. got all 4. of 4. Thrash Pondo Ponds, channel member Thrash Pondo Ponds is our first perfect score of the evening. Let's see who else might have got a perfect score. Terrell Eugene Bellinger rocked it as well with a perfect score. Booger 14, 414, 7 of 8. Very, very respectable score, which he shares with Gloop Trekker, 7 of 8 as well. Educated guesses. Channel member Lisa Fields rocking the perfect score tonight. Todd McCurry, 7 of 8. Channel member Emily Miller, 5 of 8. You're very, very respectable, Emily. Cindy D, 8 for 8. Nicely done. Aldo Duarte got 4 correct. All guesses. Channel member Dominic D, 7 of 8. Paul Rotter got 8 of 8. The price is right, Paul. Nicely done. Channel member For My Sweetheart, 369, 5 out of 8. Very respectable. Don't feel bad about that. Channel member Music Girl 67 says 7 of 8. Whoopee. Tug, the Unapologetic Geek, got 6 of 8. Channel member as well, says, I consider incredible since I've never watched any of them. Yeah, you can kind of process of elimination with some of them. Very respectable. Tug, 420 shares that score as well, 6 of 8. Let's see. Do not feel bad about your score, Tom. Sean Innes got 6 of 8. Channel member Sean Innes, I should mention. Carol Oster got 3 of 8. Caroline Maloney rocked it tonight with 8 of 8. She says, so much fun. Lamont Bradford got 8 of 8 as well. Wow. Mr. Led said they all threw him. Let's see what else we got. Kenneth Wilkinson says 6 of 8. Gary Carpenter, 6 of 8. Constant Cherry got 4 out of 8. Danny Staten did not do well tonight, but you were here hanging out with us, Danny. Even though you were facing down a hurricane or at least some pretty darn strong weather. Appreciate you having with us tonight or hanging out with us tonight, Danny. Channel member Jason Goldtrap, 4 of 8. Yes, Marion Ross played a doctor in one of the episodes where it's an early episode where they have Robert Reed, Mike Brady has a doctor for the boys, and Carol has a doctor for the girls. Matt Sweeney got 8 of 8 as well. Let's see. John S. got 7 of 8. Nicely done. Tiffany B. 2 of 8. Thank you for playing, Tiffany. Let's see. Marshall Harris got 4 of 8. Nicely done. And Music Girl 67, love this, says, congratulations to all those who were perfect tonight. You are all rock stars. Let me just say this. And let me go full screen here. You are all rock stars. It's starting to get dark here. I probably should have turned on a light. You're getting reflection in my glasses, all this kind of stuff. But, you know what? We're wrapping it up anyway. So let me just say, what a great community you all are. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for talking Brady on this very Brady live stream. I appreciate all the folks that drop super chats and super stickers. I appreciate all the folks that are channel members that shared their milestone messages with us tonight. Thank you all for your support. It's just truly appreciated. I love the level of engagement we have. We had at one point, I think 110 people in the chat with us tonight. Just hanging out, talking Brady. Does it get any better than that? I think not. All right, so I'm going to wrap things up, folks. I'm going to go out and hang out with my wife for a little bit before we call it a night. I'm not sure what we're going to do. Hopefully watch something fun on TV for a little bit. But thanks again. Appreciate you being here. Let me bring on Fred Rogers to share how I feel in a manner that only Fred can do. Here we go.
You are special.
Indeed you are. Thank you all for being part of my YouTube community. You're truly appreciated. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.